All righty. Well, hello and welcome to Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a show where a bunch of casual players play Avatar Legends not so casually. I'm your GM, Garrett, and this is our campaign of Avatar Legends TTRPG by Magpie Games. This is a monthly streaming we do. It's pretty fun.
It is.
Oops. Sorry about one, Bob. LOL. Anyways, so what happened last time? Our group of heroes, we'll call them heroes today. They after kind of getting their butts whooped in episode 2, they kind of regrouped and we're going to sneak into the city hall so that they could uncover evidence of who is helping the Guiding Wind, what's the conspiracy all about, and all of that. While Ninshe and Ayase actually ran the meeting, while Lestrade also kind of watched me outside to make sure nothing happened. Let's see. So what Kimido and Giva learned is they were kind of making their way, hiding / pretending to be janitors.
I don't have my mustache anymore.
They learned that Princess Zhe-Shan was receiving letters from a mysterious person and had thrown away a letter to someone else that was special to her. Apparently betrothed to marry somebody by the name Kay.
Allegedly from another nation.
They had learned, I think the most other important significant thing was they had learned that there had already been kind of an investigation going on into like the Commerce Guild and kind of where their money is going by Captain Anakin, the general police of North Chungling. I think I got that right. Flutterbat in. Okay. Now that I got that one in. And supposedly money going outside the city in a way that is kind of off the books. They were kind of investigating that. And they thought that was connected to the Guiding Wind. That was kind of learned. We went to somebody else's office. You went to Kute's office, but you hadn't really learned much other than that there was a letter that she had written Poe, the person in charge of the inn, had written a letter,
right,
informing her about the situation, but the crispness of the letter seemed like it was staged in a way. Y'all couldn't really determine exactly why it would be staged or anything like that, but it seemed staged, not a secret letter that it seemed like it was just written on in this office. So while that was going on, the vote was happening, and about whether or not they should stop building the fire and air learning center or not. It was determined in this vote that they would stop building the fire and air learning center, despite Ayase's best persuasion skills, as Ninshe swung the vote. Basically, Ninshe seemed to be quite scared of something, and that something was probably revealed as Mr. K, Ayase's father, walked in. He said that his plan of raiding the Guiding Wind's headquarters was already in play, and that they would be arresting Condro's group, who was apparently right outside. So cutting to outside, Lestrade encountered Condro, the leader of the Guiding Wind, who didn't attack him or anything, just said that the vote was about to go his way, is what he kind of said to Estrad. But then the Fire Nation soldiers attacked him, and so he basically did a very advanced airbending technique, which I didn't emphasize enough last time. But Estrad, you would know that most airbending techniques are very quick and kind of disappear, maneuvers to get you out of the way of an attack, quick concussive blasts, things like that. For someone like Conjo to actually create a basically a force of wind to pick up and throw like concrete like that, a very like controlled construction of air almost. Very advanced airbending technique. Not what you see every day for sure. So he seemingly seems to have been portrayed by the Fire Nation soldiers supporting him, or that were supporting him supposedly, or there was something has happened to worsen that relationship or sour that relationship. Chemo and Giva had gotten out of the city hall and had thrown a lifeline to Estrad, who kind of used his airbending to kind of get them out of there quickly, kind of a team effort to get them out of that situation. And back to the hotels where they headed. Meanwhile, back with Ayase, after the rest of the room cleared out, Mr. K, her father, basically said that him and Princess Seishan are working on a plan to basically, essentially seems like direct Chondro as a weapon against Fire Lord Sozin, and that's what this whole her supposed marriage to Chondro, which is what was revealed, was all about. Is to kind of start another step in that plan to get Chondro to seemingly on a direct course with Fire Lord Sozin. Yes.
Is Chondro the one that Estrad was fighting?
He's not. He's the one actually in charge of the Guiding Wind.
The concrete. We came and you were like,
Yeah,
the dude was like interrogating me, and you're like, hey, let's time to go.
Yeah.
Like,
And then second thing, did we discover that their Fire Nation guard uniforms missing? Or that they had been checked out or something? There was something.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you did find out that there were. You found out there were guard uniforms missing, and that there seems to be. Basically, it seems like there are the arrests that happened in episode 1 of those Guiding Wind members did not seem to be actual police or fire soldiers at all. They seemed to be people working on their own. So that's kind of another thing at play here. But yeah, basically Ayase was put down by her father, said that she was just sent here to kind of be a tool for him to use, and that now that this vote has happened, Ninche will now be helping him build his ships again. To which Ayase basically was not able to stand up to her father in this moment and sort of let this happen. And kind of fell into tradition in line and answering her father respectfully, and basically seems to be continuing to push for what the family wishes and wants, specifically her father.
Been to stare at a wall for 6 hours.
Then you did that. Where you were approached by the Commerce Guild master, who told you that basically flipped a lotus tile down and said that you would find help at the beach. And had also revealed himself to be an airbender. That was something that had been revealed. So he's not actually seemingly of the Fire Nation. While back at the Flutterbat Inn, Mr. Poe had basically told you all, and through very bad code, I suppose.
No code at all.
Try no code at all. Was basically told you that the airbenders at the embassy were all being arrested seemingly being accused of being in conspiracy with the Guiding Wind, and that you guys were on the Fire Nation soldiers were apparently coming to arrest you all as well. But kind of giving the same message that you all would find help at the beach. And this apparently caused a break in the group as Kimedo was not able to convince Estrad to go with him to the beach. Estrad is now returning to his soldiers, which we'll kind of get to in a second. But Ayase meets up with Giva and Kimedo and sort of, through her own code, implies that if she were to be kidnapped, she could go to the beach, but could not willingly go to the beach on her own. So Giva puts her in metal bindings and carries her off to the beach. And that is what everyone was doing last time. Does anyone have any missing things that I missed? What happened last episode?
I learned a lot of things from the recap personally.
You know.
I'm good. I think that was
Awesome.
great.
Then we will start actually with kind of Estrad on your journey back to where your soldiers have been training. Kind of flashback on how Estrad even got to North Chungling. As you're kind of flashing back to how did I get here? You basically post the previous avatar dying and Roku's training. The airbenders, air nomads have pretty much volunteered to kind of step in to fill the void of what the avatar would usually do, interfering on spirits kind of wreaking havoc and needing to be calmed, different spiritual matters across the nation, natural disasters and things like that. So that's kind of how the air nomads had kind of expanded their reach in a way. Your group is kind of part of all that, kind of in the aftermath. After Roku is finishes training and all that, but these kind of air nomad teams still exist. So your team is probably the youngest team. Most of your soldiers are your students, really. And you saw kind of an issue with the guiding wind, but you're from the Southern Air Temple. The Southern Air Temple hadn't made a decision yet on whether or not they were a true threat. They have been focused on just getting the Fire and Air Learning Center built. And you kind of learn if they're interfering with that. That is kind of what you volunteered yourself without making it known to really the Council of Elders for the Air Nomads. You kind of just made your way with your soldiers, found a spot on the dormant volcano at North Chungling. That is where your soldiers have been waiting. And you and Mukta kind of went down into North Chungling. One thing I forgot from the recap is Conjo had mentioned that Mukta had switched his view to his side, which was news to you. You haven't talked to Mukta since, but he was that one spy guy that you had on the inside. So he went and kind of started spying on the guiding wind while you kind of focus on protecting the embassy, the air nomads, trying to get the Fire and Air Learning Center built. You were doing that. So you haven't seen your soldiers in about 10 days. You've only been in North Chungling for about 10 days. So you are going into the dormant volcano. This area kind of it's like it's dormant, so like there's still a lot of greenery. You're kind of in a hidden alcove of this, where trees are still able to grow. It's a very small, like hidden, not an oasis, but oasis-like in that you wouldn't expect this kind of greenery to exist. The air around here, all of it is kind of a master airbender is kind of the only one who would be able to really get up here because of the way the different air flows are, with all the heat rising and things like that. So you're able to navigate it pretty easily as you kind of land and look for your soldiers. At first, no one comes, but eventually one of them calls out. Let's pull up my notes on all the names.
Yes, what are their names? What are my soldiers' names?
Yes, I'll go ahead and give you the names if you want to make notes of them. You have Tico, who is the kind of who is the youngest of the group. He is 14. He is very excitable. You have Bulb, who is kind of the ladies' man of the group.
Man?
Yeah, big kind of broad-shouldered guy, very kind of calm ladies' man kind of guy. Very Brock from Pokemon vibes from him. You have Rita, who has like a very like friendly girl next door type of vibe to her in the group. You have Wiggy, who is kind of the scaredy cat of the group. Very like timid all the time, but like very protective of his friends. You have Civ, she is kind of the bookworm of the group. Just very studious in different like air nomad principles and things like that. You have Spin, who is the big brother of the group, just very friendly, always looking out for everybody. And last, you have Rolly. They are kind of the sleepyhead of the group, just always kind of lazy and not really picking up everything, not always amped for training and things like that. But Rolly is the one that is keeping a lookout per se. You see them kind of roll off a bush and say, "Hey, Estrad, you're back."
Hello, I've returned.
Master, what'd you learn? Is the conflict over, or we still up here training?
The conflict is not over.
Chandra.
The big guy, big bad guy.
Chandra.
Chondro has become more bold with his moves and was seen outside of town hall attacking the soldiers that the Fire Nation soldiers that attempted to keep the peace.
That sounds like a bummer. Oh yeah. By the way, you have a visitor. He's been waiting for a couple of days.
Visitor who found me up here.
Yeah. Well, let's go say hi.
All right. I think this is Muck.
As you kind of go, as you kind of make your way kind of further into the alcove, your other soldiers start kind of coming out and greeting you. Wiggy says, "Oh, geez, Strahd, how's everything going? Is everyone okay? We don't, get much news up here training and all, but it's all good."
Well, I'm doing all right. There's quite a lot of uproar happening in the city, with the the guiding wind causing a lot of trouble, and even the leader showed himself and decided to wreak havoc and kill a bunch of Fire Nation soldiers.
Oh, jeez. Oh, geez. Spin comes up and just says, "It's all right, Wiggy. Strahd, are you sure you're okay? Because you're not in great shape. You still look very beat up from your fight with Hayate. Your glider's destroyed."
I'm definitely doing all right. I met a high-ranking official and got ambushed, and I was down in the dumps for a while, but I'm definitely on the road to recovery. I just might need a day or two to get back to tip-top shape, and I got to get my glider repaired.
Man, well, we can probably get you a spare glider, but yeah, everyone's been good up here. We haven't had any trouble or anything.
That's great.
Well, but, man, we have an old friend came to visit, but
Yes, I heard. Can you take me to this old friend?
yeah. Running up is Tico, who comes in on an air scooter, just like, "Hey, Star, look what I can do! Look what I can do!"
Very nice, Tico. I see you've been practicing.
Yeah. Look, and he just starts like dancing on the air scooter.
Well, I hope that dancing has some sort of combat applications. Maybe you're pretty good at balancing yourself to do other things than just dance.
Yeah, Rita can never hit me, and you just see Rita just kind of throw an air concussive blast and just knocks him off the air scooter. And she's like, "Yeah, but you kind of need to work on being a bit more aware there, Tico." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah."
Well said, Rita.
But yes, you see, kind of sitting on a rock, you see your old friend, who Avatar fans will know is Monk Gyatso.
Deepest war.
Your history with Gyatso before we jump into it. He's basically your childhood friend, childhood rival growing up. It's a very Kakashi Might Guy type of rivalry
Nice.
in that so you see it as a rivalry where Gyatso doesn't just sees a friendship basically.
Yeah.
You would never admit it, but there's also been a slow kind of you wanting to prove yourself as on the same level, being able to compete with them kind of since he trained with Avatar Roku. That's kind of where that splinter in y'all's friendship sort of happened, where you kind of, and this is sort of kind of why you took on this mission, was you wanting to kind of prove yourself to the elders as being worthy of the same level of responsibility as Gyatso, because he's been away from the Southern Air Temple for a while, just being called on different missions and things like that, which is kind of why you.
Is he are we similar aged?
Yeah.
Okay. My friend.
Lestrade, how are you?
Well, definitely says you can probably tell I've seen better days. I got ambushed a couple of days back, and managed to escape with my life, and my flat is in tatters, and I've been recovering. But how have you been?
Oh, it's been good. It's been just out there traveling and learning a lot. Here, take a load off your feet. You're always so stiff.
Well, if it's an old friend insists, I guess I can't say no. Sit down.
Yeah.
Wherever.
And he kind of holds out a cup of tea. I'll prepare some tea for you.
So, what have your adventures? What have you done recently? I hear you've been out of the Southern Air Temple for a while, just being pulled onto various missions.
Yeah, there was a bit of a disruption up in the Northern Water Tribe, spirits on a rampage and things like that. So, just had to calm down a little bit. Me and Roku did all that together. Now Roku's out on that boat for a while, so I turned to the Southern Air Temple and learned that you had disappeared, and did a little bit of digging. Knew what my old friend might be up to. How's your conversations been going with Chondro? Have you been able to?
Well, last thing, we had very briefly a conversation. He, tried to convert me to his way of thinking, and then decided that it was a very aggressive time to have, and I watched him slaughter a platoon of Fire Nation guards, causing massive destruction to the infrastructure of the city.
Seems Chondro has definitely lost his way a little bit. What do you think about his actual ideals there? What about the air nomads being too spread out?
I know that we have taken a lot of responsibility for ourselves and try to really spread ourselves thin, but I think that the Air Nation is strong and can handle this, and this has been our duty since time immemorial to be the guiding force of the world, and to ease the conflicts across the globe.
Do you see Chondro as evil?
Well, people aren't evil; their actions are evil.
How do you plan on stopping Chondro?
It's not like a easy two-step plan, right? I think we try and get the guiding wind to disband and realize that their way is not the correct way to do things, and if they want to have things done, that they can do them the proper way, and see if that will lead to results rather than just causing violence and destruction, as a nation seeks to avoid. A frog stuck in my throat or something.
Got a whole Midas stuck in your throat.
Yeah, haven't done my
Drink
vocal
more tea,
warm-up.
friend.
Yes, my tea.
Have you not recruited anybody to help you?
I've got a few comrades in addition to those who you see here. I've had my squad has been here training just in case. Been on the lookout to see if any other big global drastic moves have been made. But so far they've been mostly isolated to the city.
Well, you've put yourself on the forefront.
I always have.
That you have. But you need to be a bit more accepting. Almost said Mida. Estrada.
Of what?
Different views. You've always been a bit stuck in your ways.
Maybe. But what do you mean?
You want to tackle this bits head on, you know? That's what you do. You take it on by yourself. That's how you view leadership. Is that fair to say?
Well, I believe that at the head of every prominent group there is a strong leader, yes.
But you need to delegate some responsibility a little bit. I mean, I've kept an eye on the situation. Didn't want to interfere. Knew that would only rifle your feathers a little bit.
What are you getting at?
Well, I mean, you can't be everywhere at once, Strahd.
That is true. But one man.
So how do you need help? Are you willing to ask for help?
I mean, I do have some comrades that are helping me already in the city. They're definitely trying to help stop the guiding wind, as we all believe that this fire learning center was right and what should be guided to prolong peace and allow for the transfer of ideals.
Now, be honest, Strahd.
I have been.
I know. Have you sought to help them in any way?
Sought help from them or sought to help them?
To help them. Or has it been a bit of a Strahd's way recently?
I mean, I've definitely gone and talked with them and, pointed out some flaws in their plans.
And you can probably see why that might rifle some feathers, right?
You definitely could. But it's, when I'm saying comrades, I'm not talking about the type of bond that I share with all of you fellows here
Of course.
and ladies here.
Of course, of course.
It's more of a matter of convenience at this point.
But you gotta build up that rapport.
They need to prove themselves to be useful before I can believe to build a rapport.
Do you not see them as useful? Have you not, as a leader, thought, how could I see their strengths and best utilize them?
You see, when I try and dictate the conversation, they get very hard-headed, and also just about the only thing that's pulling us together is the mutual want of this fire learning center. Everything else is for completely different reasons. So anything that gets remotely towards one of my ends, they're just like, why would I bother? This doesn't help me. And they hit their chest a lot.
So you're saying you haven't gotten to understand them. Would that be fair?
To put generically, maybe. Well, I wouldn't, in my words, say that no.
Have you thought you might be a bit more, need to be a bit more free flowing in your approach to encourage them what the best idea would be? Have they taken any of your advice yet?
Not from memory. I don't believe that they have taken much of my advice.
You said they need to prove to you to be, useful and all that. But have you proven to them that you could be a leader yet? I know everyone here sees you as a leader, of course. But you want to achieve great things across nations, and that's what the Fire and Air Learning Center is about. Bridging that gap and showing other nations the best versions of ourselves. Do you think they would call you a leader?
It's very difficult to get the leader of another wannabe organization to admit that you would be a leader over them.
Sure. Let's walk it back a little bit then. Let's take away the role. Have you proven that they can count on you yet, do you think? Do you think they would say that?
They may not. I guess they may not say that directly, but I've definitely done my best to save them and gather information that would be helpful to them.
But would you call yourselves a team yet?
No.
And do you think you can beat Conjuro without a team?
Like I said, not as we currently are, and the goal isn't to beat Conjuro. I don't know where you found this.
Well,
Found this at.
Get him to see a reason. He's definitely misguided right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
But do you think you can get him to see reason without a team, though? Do you think that's within your capabilities right now?
I mean, it sure could be. I'm not sure. I've only had a very brief conversation, and maybe he responded more to power dynamics, and maybe I have to show that I'm stronger. In which case, it would take some time to build a strength that is greater than his.
You are quite hard-headed, old friend.
Always have been.
Well, I thought I might teach you a new technique while I'm here. Well,
Yeah, what have you learned on your escapades?
Just something Avatar Roku taught me. Good technique for getting yourself out of a conflict.
Will I be shocked? Will I give you a nice wave?
Some might say that. And this is where I'll kind of, if you're willing, I'll teach you, friend. I want to offer that help to you.
Well, I feel it would be silly not to encourage a little bit of information transfer.
So you will spend the next few hours, of course, training in Shockwave. What we will have you do, as you kind of learn Shockwave, you're going to make a roll to see if you can get it started at practice instead of learned.
No.
I was going to tell you what to add, but
I rolled a 4.
So you rolled a 4?
Yes, I rolled a 4.
10. Well,
Playing his golf rules.
Let's see. So are you currently, your balance is in your center, but you're free of any conditions right now, correct?
I believe so.
Cool.
I counted as rain.
So you have a +2 right now. +1. So it's only a 5. So you still learn the technique, but it will take a few hours to do it anyways. Pretty much all day, but we'll still start it learned. But that is what you'll be doing for the next few hours as he teaches you how to create a shockwave. As he teaches you this, he tells you to really master this technique, Astrad, and you will need to use this to help your friends as you kind of take a point of leadership to pull the role playing out of it. Basically, to get mastered, you need to use an action at some point to basically give people your friends, your comrades, a way to escape, pretty much.
Okay.
So that will let you be mastered. It will not. You're not able to jump from learn to mastered. So you'll need to get into practice, and then you can do the master thing.
So if I'm going to check the master box, as practice, go to master instead. Or do I have to do it sequentially?
What do you mean? Sorry, say that again. You have to do it sequentially. Yes.
Okay, so then after I get practice, then I have to do the saving thing. And
Correct.
Then go to master.
Correct.
Okay.
And then just since we're here, I'll go ahead and tell you what your other one that your sense the blows awake. That mastery will come from you taking a step back and letting someone else lead.
Dang, learned for a while.
Quick, give a take notes. I know.
And then, and how both of the mastery will work. Anytime you hit the mastery condition, I've set a value. You'll move it towards one way or the other on your balance. So when you master Shockwave, you'll move towards leadership, and when you master Sense the Blows Wake, it'll move towards support. It'll be an automatic move. Yeah.
Okay.
So left or right, basically whichever.
Yeah, right now my centers.
So not your center, your balance. So you're actually where you are will move. Sorry. Yeah.
That's chill.
But while you're training, we will. Or actually, it's
montage.
Let me finish taking this one.
Deja vu.
For your training, Estrada, we're going to keep on getting into dangerous situations and run away real fast. Shoo. Oop, I left.
The typical character development for anime.
Yep. Anyways, to the beach crew. You all make your way to the beach. Giva just hoisting Yase over her shoulder in metal bindings.
I'm lightly protesting the whole way through.
Yase is probably set a couple miles back. I don't think anyone can see us now. You're probably not.
Fully just
I've got to maintain appearances.
unhand me, you oaf. Oh.
I thought you wanted us to take you.
No, you're abducting a highly valued person of interest of North Chungling. No, I don't wish to have this done.
I'm whispering
Committing
like
a crime.
I can't really tell if you're being serious or not right now. But I think I'm supposed to take you. And I look at Kimado, like really still kind of confused. Like, we're doing the right thing, right?
Yes, I believe so. Don't listen to her. She might be delusional. We need to
Yeah.
take her to the beach.
I'm delusional.
So you get to the beach, and no one's on the beach. At least that's what it seems at first. Then Commercial Guildmaster Hong arrives, landing out of the sky.
Oh, right.
As
As
usual.
one does.
Yes, as one does. You two have not, Kimido and Gib have not met Commercial Guildmaster Hong.
So he just comes out of the sky.
Yeah,
And we've never seen him before.
that is correct.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
we
getting in
expecting it?
like a defensive.
Mr. Poe, as he told y'all to go to the beach, so you You know you're supposed to meet somebody at the beach.
I just
Kimato, do we need to take defensive measures?
I don't know, Gibba. Let's just be on the ready.
Who's there? You've been carrying me butt first. I can't see anything.
Here, turn our house around. Maybe
Oh,
she'll know who this
I'm
is.
sorry. You know, twist.
Gibba turns backwards.
Oh. It's him.
Commissioner Goldmaster Hong says, amusedly, I see you're hanging in there.
Where did you develop this personality in 2 hours?
So I assume, and I'm talking over my shoulder,
Yep.
you're the person that we've been sent to meet on this beach here today.
Oh, no. I've just come to guide you to the person.
Well, that's good enough.
I think we've all had enough guiding in these times as of late.
Oh yeah, this probably isn't the most efficient way of traveling. And I take you off my shoulder and I set you down very gently.
I flop.
I'm sorry. I think I gotta keep the metal bindings on to maintain appearances, but I'll and I like loosen her legs or whatever. You can at least waddle like this. Sorry about this.
Look like a regular sand penguin.
You guys have those? You give us like a childlike glimmer in her eyes just for a second. Then she's like, never mind. Focus.
Hello. Hong says, as amusing as it would be to see Ayase waddle a couple miles, I've done a perimeter search. Don't worry. No one is on the beach.
Oh, Gibba, I think it's okay if we let her go.
Ayase, you won't try to run or anything, right? You're with us.
No, I won't run. I think I'd quite like to see what's on the beach on this fine day.
I guess we could catch you if you tried, and then release her from the metal bindings. And I try to, I guess, salvage that metal for later.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got a bag at this point of just metal scraps.
Yeah.
No, I like to imagine that Gibba then dons the metal and it's just
That's
like
cool
all
too.
over her body.
Yeah, it's kind of like a plated armor, very makeshift. That's cool.
Metal
We'll do
skirt.
that.
Yeah. You could give me a friendship bracelet if you want.
It's like one of the really junky Iron Man suits.
Yeah.
Shing, just 20
It
holes
doesn't
in
look
it.
like the worst thing in the world, but definitely not, the fanciest getup.
Master Hong says, well, follow me.
I follow.
And where are we going precisely?
Just a cave up the way.
Oh, yes, it is, of course, custom when one goes to the beach to explore the caves. I suppose I should enjoy this fine holiday.
Oh, are you serious? Do y'all like caves too in the Fire Nation? I mean, personally in the Earth Nation, we're quite comfortable around them, controllable scenery and all that.
They're-
Like a blanket of earth just surrounding you.
Yes, they're
I do
very
love
dark,
it.
cold, and oppressive, but a small flame can guide the way through.
I do love a good tidal pool cave. That's what I meant to say. And tidal waves too, but only when I'm controlling them.
Well, guess now's not the time to be missing home. Lead the way, good sir.
And he gives a slight bow. Mostly mockingly.
Towards us?
Yeah, just mostly mockingly. As he kind of, more of like a bow as he turns kind of thing.
Yeah. Is everybody
Do
in
we
this
notice?
nation rude?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
So he basically takes you up towards.
I'm not sure he's from this nation.
Oh, that's true. He's
As he takes you up about a mile up the beach, kind of let's see, towards like a kind of there's like basically it starts there's the beach and then like the actual like to your left, it's like the actual back to a road kind of starts going up into like a cliff basically, and so you kind of it starts getting narrow, kind of where the water meets the cliff as you start walking, until he finally gets you to a boat, a small rowboat of sorts, and says, "We'll take this the rest of the way."
Okay.
Before we go any further, because I'm not the most comfortable with water, where exactly are we going, and for what purpose are we required?
So that you can meet a master to help you train.
As she's asking these questions, I just hop into the boat. I'm like, what?
Kamado, we don't know who these people are.
I'm about 500 feet away, dragging my feet really badly.
Don't you think this is a little strange? Suddenly, people are after us. This guy says, go to the beach, and now this guy at the beach is saying, go here. And is anybody else feeling like this might be just a big trap?
Well, here's the way I see it. They're taking a waterbender out onto the ocean. If it was a trap, this is a very poorly thought out trap.
Yeah, they're taking a waterbender and then a firebender who I don't know if she can fight yet, and earth metal bender. And to be fair, I don't got a lot of much out there except for what's on me right now, and I don't feel too confident I can stop us from one of those big fire ships.
Points to the cliff.
Cliff right here.
Yeah, but are we gonna just corner this cliff and just hang out by land the whole time?
Well, we are going to a cave.
Are we?
It's not like we're going to go into the open ocean.
He did say cave, yeah.
Well, that's what he said, but maybe he's a liar.
That's true. But I do think that we will be safe.
I also just now arriving onto the scene.
Like, is Ayase injured, or are you just like...
Her stamina
Very
is
exhausted. We just did a
questionable.
1 mile. We just did a 1 mile hike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I
tired.
just wanted to make sure. Granted, I did look, and I decided not to learn healing still, so... not that I can help you.
You wanted to typecast waterbender, you got Cora.
Hey, she didn't heal anybody.
Yeah, Cora never did.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, I know.
Are you a waterbender or an ice bender?
She did if you count restoring their bending.
Right.
Listen, I guess it's fine. If we get too far, we'll just, take this guy out, right?
Yes, think about it this way. How much could one airbender control a boat when it's surrounded by water? And I can bend the water around the boat.
That's fair.
Gives airbender.
But,
Sir,
okay,
you flew onto the scene. I doubt any fire people could do that.
I guess I can get the hat and he just kind of takes off this little commercial gold hat.
Those
Just
are tattoos.
you see his tattoo now.
well, as much as I appreciate a good master as
And
a
wig, I
next
should say.
person, what exactly are we training for?
Well, survival, really.
Kiva, how else can we ask people to come join the Iron Lotus if we are not so strong? We must become stronger if they will want to follow us.
Well, usually when people tell us that we need to train, there's something imminent that we are training for. And pardon me, but I'd like to know exactly what enemy we're supposed to be expected to handle. I don't expect you're just helping us find a trainer out of the goodness of your heart. Obviously, there's a target.
Yes, the grand military might of the Fire Nation bearing down on all of us.
That is correct. They are looking to arrest you.
That is true. We do need to fight the Fire Nation.
Now this is making sense, but I guess I'm not doing us any favors arguing on this beach, and I just hop in the boat very reluctantly, like
I'm gonna reach my hand out to Ayase. Would you like some help, Ayase?
Well, it's been a very splendid day at the beach, but I don't know if I should be leaving the country, the land.
I say we did not drag you here just to let you chill on the coast. Get in the darn boat.
If you wish to add to your rep sheets abduction into international waters, that could be.
Hong just basically throws a little airstrike at you to push you into the boat.
Eat.
And he's like, "Don't worry, international waters are but a few miles offshore." And he just starts airbending basically to off the water to get the boat moving, creating his own motorboat.
You realize we've got a. Well, never mind.
She doesn't know where we're going.
That's a good point.
I would like to play with the water as we're going. Just doing. Just playing.
Little water fish.
Yeah. Oh yes. Like the little. Water dolphins jump out of the water, and I accidentally splashed my Ayase a little bit.
I'm just like, you see me trying to muster a spark or something on my fingertips, just like burn the boat, but I'm just kind of scorching the wood a little bit.
Ooh, Ayase's doing some wood burning designs.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a very, very light sizzle.
And after about another mile or so, you hop into a small hidden cave that you kind of sail into.
I'm just so visibly relieved to be around Earth again. Oh God.
Is this a straight up cave that's dry, or this is like a cave that has like a little stream?
It's not a stream per se, but there's like a small there's water under the cave basically.
Cool.
It goes in a bit. Like there's a little inlet.
Cool.
Basically.
Cool.
And you see sitting on a rock as well, because Avatar. Seems right. Not the Avatar.
Oh.
You see a woman with a bow and arrow kind of strung across her back, that she just sits waiting on you all. Hearing the splashes of water, she says, "Welcome, young heroes."
Hello. My name is Kamado, and it's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. What?
What did you say, Giva?
Giva, I'm Giva. Sorry. Never mind. I got. Do you know this person? Nothing makes sense around here.
Neither do
I. You see the bow and arrows, and you've heard legends told of a, not legends, but more of a folk story per se, of a legendary archer named Yu Yan. Yep. I didn't make this name. This is not me.
How do you spell that?
Yuyan.
Oh, okay.
I
Not me either, because it's funny.
am innocent. And she basically was very protective of the common folk of the Fire Nation, using her bow and arrow to fend off thieves and all the like.
That is a true hero.
And recently was made known that she is real, as she declined the Fire Lord's invite, we'll say, to the dragon hunts.
Good on her.
A truly respectable human being.
Has been in isolation since.
Mm-hmm. But this is all you're saying, Mr. Ayase.
Yeah, she knows all.
Okay.
She's heard all of this. Rather, never met this person, but
I'll say as my official answer. If you had asked me yesterday, I would have said a bleeding heart, but perhaps she has some insight we could gather.
And looking up, you see that she is blind. And she says, "Welcome, all of you.
Hello. What are you able to teach us?
Seems like you all are a bit out of balance. In need of some guidance to reach your potential."
The only
And-
guidance I've ever needed is from Kamado. And just interject.
Moving past that, she says,
Star.
moving past that, she says, "And we need help rooting out a bit of a conspiracy
I see. Well,
that you've
sorry.
already stumbled upon, it seems."
Yes, we have recently learned of many different interlinked conspiracies. So yeah, you have light you can shed on that for us? Question mark.
Before I do all of that, I need to see if you all are really the heroes we need. See if you can pass my training.
And how are you going to see that?
Kamado!
Secret joke in
Yep.
there.
At that joke, she, quicker than you can react,
Kills you.
pulls a bow and shoots past you
Oh, past me? Okay.
and hits a fish
Oh.
and pins it to the wall of the cave.
Oh. Did it actually fly past me?
Oh yeah,
Okay. I did pull up a little wall
Yeah.
of water to
yeah.
protect me
just
of ice.
pull ice wall, just like
Yeah.
right past it.
Okay. And at first I kind of chuckled, and then I turned and I was like, what brilliant archer you are.
As you can see, I have no real problem with seeing.
Yes, I can't see that. No pun intended, that one. There's just no other word to use. I realized that. Well,
Yes,
that's
please,
excellent.
please excuse my companion's choice of words. To just go back for a moment, who is this we you spoke of?
Good question.
Group of citizens wanting to make sure that the Fire Nation remains traditional, let's say, isn't corrupted by politics and all of that, doesn't lose our way with the spirits.
Wow.
You
Is she wearing
I mean
foundation?
there's another option? Like, not just following political structure as is?
It is up to the next generation to stand up and create their own paths, is what I see.
Is she wearing foundation garb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Visible
So-
confusion on my face.
Do the Fire Nation typically believe in spirits or like do anything? I mean, obviously.
At this period, the dragons are very much kind of their connection to spirits.
Okay.
Yeah,
in there.
and the fact that they are currently hunting them right now is a big part of that, probably. Which is why the Fire and Air Learning Center is, or another reason why the Fire and Air Learning Center is kind of important in being able to continue helping the Fire Nation and maintaining their connection to the spiritual world.
Gotcha. I see. You do seem to know a lot about the world, and I would be happy to learn from you.
Are you
When
a
do we get
bender?
started? What did you say?
Is she a bender? It's a fair question.
A bender.
I've been like, Gemma's been staring at this fish in the wall for like a whole conversation, just trying to figure it out. Like,
I am not a bender. Was not gifted with that connection to the spiritual world, Giva.
So I don't understand how you're gonna help me be a better fighter if you can't bend like it.
Giva, if I could interject. From what I've seen in our world travels, there is many things that we can learn from people, no matter what talents they have. So we can take many of these potential philosophies that she may share with us, and then we can apply them to our bending or the way that we build our following for our lotus or anything like that.
You're right, Kamado, but I just don't. I just feel like I need to be out there with the people. I mean, I need to forge swords for them. I need to make sure they've got a way to defend themselves. And I just don't see how this person's going to help me get better at my metal bending if they don't bend anything. I think that's fair to say.
Giva, do you mind if I test your abilities a little bit as she gets down from her rock?
Well, I wouldn't be a warrior if I said no.
And you two will be entering a combat exchange.
Oh.
I don't want to do this, but give it does. Give it stuff.
Poor Giva. Too bad I didn't learn healing. She's gonna need it.
All right. So, as a reminder, you will pick which one you want to use first between evade and observe, advanced active, and the maneuver, and I will as well. Let me know when you are ready.
I am prepared.
All right. She will be evading and observing. What are you doing?
I am defending and maneuvering.
Okay.
Stances.
Stances.
It's your mark. Get ready.
Get ready and. All right. You go first. So roll with focus.
Yes. How many dice? I always forget.
2d6.
Not like 4.
No.
Shot. Oh. I got a 6.
All right. So you can either not do anything or shift your balance away from your center one way or the other to use a basic technique. What do you choose?
Sorry, I'm looking at the basic techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Do I choose the way No, I obviously would shift in the less desirable direction. So I will do nothing.
Okay. So she will use feint. So you basically see her as you basically get ready to create a rock wall. She moves quicker than you do, and looks like she's about to shoot you with an arrow before reappearing on the other side of the rock. Basically, just faking you out as you move to try and deflect that shot. She's already on basically has moved around to the other side of the rock, marking a condition on you. You are your choice between insecure or troubled. I'll say as she kind of fakes you out now, kind of shot an arrow, and it is kind of around your defenses. She doesn't hit you at all. But she does like basically pins your sandal to the ground.
I'll be insecure.
Hey, Meg, your camera's doing a very funny thing right now.
Oh no, what's it doing?
It's like stuck on one image, but the image is wiggling.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of boxes.
It's very uncanny.
There you
Okay, it's fixed. It was just like you do like.
Do you wish to continue the exchange?
Yes.
All right. Pick your next. Are you ready for your next exchange? You decided which one?
Yes. Yep.
All right. She will be advancing and attacking.
I'll be evading and observing.
Okay. So. Well, she'll go first, advance and attack.
Okay.
She basically fires 3 more arrows to pin like the parts of your pants to the ground as well.
Mhm.
So you are now considered impaired, which is
-1 to all physical actions.
yep, or you mark a fatigue instead.
Excuse me. -2.
Yep. So you can either mark a fatigue with any time you choose to do an action, or you have to take a -2 on your roll to do your evade and observe, for example.
I'll do a mark of fatigue for this round.
Okay. And then have you already rolled?
I did.
What was your result?
What am I rolling with? What's
You
my
can
mod?
for evade and observe, you can choose to either be creativity, or harmony. Your choice.
I have a 10.
All right. So with a 10, what means you can mark a fatigue to use a learned technique. You can use one of your practice techniques, or you can use 2 different basic or master techniques. So you can either use 2 things, use a practice, which will then be, or use a learned, which will then make it a practice if you mark a fatigue for it.
Okay, so 2 different basic or mastered. So could I do 2 mastered?
Yeah,
Okay, but they'd have to be
different. Yep, that'd be different.
Well, no, would they both have to be under the
Evade and observe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even have mastered under there. Okay, I'll use a practice thing to do mental bindings on her.
Okay.
As I imagine my makeshift metal armor, flies off of me to encase her.
Mm-hmm. Checking. Yep. They're also impaired, basically. Yep. So basically, she's trapped your legs, and you've now trapped her legs.
2 can play that game.
And then you were also considered favored as part of that as well. So, all right.
Am I impaired?
Technically, favored gives you on your next exchange, you'll get so pretty much throughout this, you'll be able to choose an additional basic or master technique to do each time, basically, even on a miss.
Okay.
So pretty much guarantees that you get to do something every time. All right. Have you decided on your next thing?
I'll advance and attack.
She will be defending and maneuvering.
Got it.
Hilariously, she is also choosing to counter-strike. So, because you advanced an attack, she will be able to execute a strike. As if she had marked 1 fatigue, she doesn't actually have to mark a fatigue, but she will be able to strike.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to mark either 2 fatigue, a condition, or shift your balance away from your center. It's your choice. Sorry, it's even better.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fatigue or condition. She chooses.
Yep. Well, so it's automatically the one, the Mark 1 fatigue. So it's automatically the second line basically. So
I need to mark fatigue.
you'll mark 2 fatigue. Yes.
2 fatigue.
Yep. So she basically chose for you what you're doing.
Unfortunately.
As she basically her strikes basically disarm you per se. As she kind of your metal bindings bag, she just kind of slashes through, and it drops to the ground. But it is now your turn to advance the attack. If you'd like to roll.
Yes. An attack rolls with
Passion.
passion. Cool. That's a 10.
All right. So same deal. You can use or learn if you mark a fatigue, practiced, or 2 different basic or mastered, and you'll get an additional 1 no matter what because of your favored status right now.
Use 1 basic and 1 mastered, and then.
Sorry, real quickly. Did you mark a fatigue because you're still impaired, or did you take a minus 2 on that roll? You need to do that as well.
Oh yeah. I'll mark a fatigue. We'll be out soon, but.
Yep.
I'll do something cool first.
Which reminder, you're not knocked unconscious or lose until your fatigue and your conditions are marked up. If you can't mark a fatigue, you can mark a condition instead.
Oh
so
yeah, nice, cool. That gives me.
You're not as far away.
Okay, cool. So, for my first thing, not thinking about my favorite yet, can I do 1 mastered and 1 basic advance and attack? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do the Iron Shard Cloud to mark 1 fatigue, to inflict 2 fatigue and a condition on her.
Okay.
As I guess, use the metal that was thrown onto the ground to send it at her.
Yep.
And then for my other thing, let me look at what it is. And then I'll do strike to force them to mark 2 fatigue.
Okay.
Because I think she's getting out of fatigue. And now that I'm favored, I get to do 1 more thing, right?
Yep.
Does it still have to be advance and attack?
Let me double check. I would assume so. Yeah, it would still have to be your advanced attack. Yeah.
Okay. And it can't be something I've already done?
I think for that one you actually can use something again. So.
Okay, well then I'll mark angry to do Iron Shard Cloud again, to do 2 fatigue to her. Wait, why would I do that? I could just do strike and not mark that fatigue.
Big brain.
Are you marking a fatigue on yourself to guarantee 2 fatigue, or are you letting her choose?
Strike has a lot of work.
I messed up last round. On that last strike, she got to choose.
Oh, okay. All right. She has chosen to shift her balance.
Okay. But I am going to definitely be super smart, do something.
No need to kill a tutor, Giva.
Sorry, I was trying to be big brain, but I am not. I'll pressure her
Okay.
and prevent her from choosing advance and attack.
Cool.
That is all. I am sorry. That took me a lot to
No, you're good.
thinking is hard. Forgive her.
I must forgive her. Forgive.
So anyway,
What a blessing.
All right. So
How
she
is
has.
this ending.
she's
Uh,
Great question.
Oh, she's fine.
Mhm.
She has decided. Have you decided on your next exchange?
Yes, I would like to do Earth Armor. Oh wait, defend and maneuver.
She is also defending a maneuver. Players go first, so go ahead. Roll. Remember to mark fatigue or take a -2 to the roll.
I will mark angry because I can't mark fatigue.
Okay. And then just so I know, how many conditions do you have left?
3.
Okay. And what was your roll for defend and maneuver?
It is an 8.
All right. So you will only be able to do one basic or mastered, but because you're still favored, you'll still be able to choose additional thing. So
Cool. All right. Wait, I can't do a learned.
it cannot be learned. It has to be basic or mastered because of the 8.
Damn.
Mastering is hard.
I'll do. Huh. I'll do retaliate.
All right. Why should you balance in this exchange? Okay. So that means that'll only apply for if she attacks you or for any of those things. So but yes.
Or. Yeah. Wait. So there are ways for her to inflict things without me on, or to
She-
that he didn't pick advance and attack, right?
Yeah, there are basically maneuvers that are techniques rather that don't do one of those things that you can still do. But if it does one of those,
Completely stupid to choose, though, right?
yeah, it's a very good defensive maneuver because you'll be able to inflict a fatigue. It's you just throwing a rock back at her for doing some
Cool.
damaging you. So,
And
yep, go ahead.
then for favored, I will. Can I overcome my arrows thingies if I pick seize a position? It says I can overcome a negative status. So could I just pull the arrows out of my pants?
You can basically it would be you basically earthbending yourself to push stuff out of it is what you're going to be trying to do. So as you try to do that, she's going to mark fatigue, basically shooting an arrow right above you. And basically you and your kind of battle senses know that if you had tried to launch yourself there, you would have been hit by an arrow, so you'd stop yourself. Basically, that's how she stops it. But she marks the fatigue.
Mark a fatigue. Okay,
Yep.
I'll still do that.
Cool. So that's what happens. Then she will take her defend and maneuver, but she'll be using 2 techniques now.
Somebody roll.
So the first thing she does is she uses disarm to launch an arrow at your bag, and basically it gets shot into the water. she has to mark 2 fatigue, and she will be naming. You cannot use Iron Shard Cloud next exchange because of this.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. You cannot use that technique for the remainder of the encounter, rather. So you will not be able to use Iron Shard Cloud at all now.
About to say, is somebody with disarm on their sheet? Pretty good.
Pretty good. See. The next thing I'll be honest, she was going to retaliate as well. So it's pretty neutral for her as well because she similarly cannot seize a position because of how metal bindings is worded. She can't metal bend, so no point in her doing anything else.
Cool.
Next exchange. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I imagine Givens was kind of like huffing at this point, like, have
Yeah.
I proven anything yet, or do you insist on carrying on this charade?
She says, well, what I can see is that you still have a lot more to work on.
And I keep going. And I pick defend and maneuver.
She is advancing and attacking. Go ahead and roll.
Motherfucker.
Would you like to mark a fatigue or take -2 to that whatever roll that was?
I'll take a -2 to that roll.
Does that just make it a 0?
Yes.
Make it negative?
So did you roll Snake Eyes?
Yep. Yep, I did.
Oh, right.
Perils of the Warp. Sorry, wrong game.
Oh.
Just reached over to Metal Bend and realized that bag is long gone. Like, oh shoot.
I will just. You're still favored, but I will say because you did roll Snake Eyes, I'm going to say you can't use your favorite this time. Your favorite.
One time I would need to use it.
Crit fails.
You've been getting additional ones this whole time. You just used it.
Master
You still used it.
shenanigans.
So as you, in your kind of desperation, or rather your tiredness from this fight, you go to grab your metal bind. You're trying to metal bind again, basically, and you realize that ain't there. And you realize in that kind of your moment of hesitation, she has brought for the first time an arrow to kind of like its full extension on the bowstring.
Oh,
She's been pulling punches.
And she fires, and it whistles past you. You basically you see it leave and then go past you immediately, and it destroys part of the wall behind you.
I feel like that physics is questionable.
And it's you're a metal bender. What are we talking about here?
You make
Right here.
with your brain. Like,
Listen, this is literally called a rock smashing shot. I don't have nothing to explain here.
it didn't specify the size of the rock.
She didn't destroy the whole wall, just a large part of it. Anyways,
She hit that fissure, like, sweet spot on the wall, you know?
Yeah.
The breaking points.
Yeah. It all makes sense.
Right in the feng shui.
anyways, you are no longer considered favored because of this. And you can either take 2 fatigue or a condition. You'll take a condition, obviously, because would be 2 conditions for you at this point.
Troubled.
I'm troubled.
This is a very troubling scenario.
She will then do a normal strike. You can either basically mark another condition or shift your balance away from the center, one or the other.
I will shift
Could
my
you-
balance
Okay. What are you shifting to?
towards results.
Yep.
By any means necessary.
You caught on to that? I've been watching a lot of True Blood, and they all talk in these like really exaggerated Louisiana accents, which I feel like is really getting to me right now. Anyways.
All right. She will. Okay. She has chosen hers.
I have chosen mine.
All right.
We
She
are
is advancing, attacking again. What are you doing?
defending and maneuvering
Okay. Roll it.
with a different dice. I got it. I have a 10 and will mark guilty. Because I definitely know I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I'm about to die. Like, poor choices, Skibba, but you can't give up. Your honor demands it. And I have a 10.
All right. So because of that, it's one of those three options: mark of fatigue till use to learn, use practice, use two different basic or mastered.
Shit. Do I pass out if my balance has to be off kilter all the way, right?
Yep, that is correct.
All right. Well, we're gonna mark one final condition.
Okay.
I think, if this makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll mark afraid, and I do earth armor to gather earth around me to see if I can hold out for one more go.
And that was your learn technique, right? So this is your technically
Yes.
first time using it. As you kind of imperfectly make this rock around you, you realize that you might have been a bit more than you could chew this time.
My option. She called me out. I had to accept.
Didn't you question how she could teach you? Isn't that how this started?
Yes, out of the best intentions, though. She has not taught me how to improve my metal bending, per se.
Oh, don't worry. She will teach you how to improve your earth bending real quick. So you create earth armor. Why is it's taking me forever to find? Oh, because I can't scroll. Simple as. One hold to negate one condition or 15 includes it to you.
I am a sponge for a second, is my understanding of this ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Incoming attack.
Gain 3 resource. You can then use 1 resource to, well, stop a bad thing about to happen to you.
And she is also considered favored again.
Honestly, kind of busted. Not gonna lie.
Earth armor is pretty nice. It took me forever to use it. I've been trying to for the past 3 rounds.
Finally, we found a high iron content soil. I can use it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not used to this dirt kind of stuff.
There's all this red clay everywhere. It's full of iron. Yeah.
Do you think, in a way, I could be a bloodbender?
I think you've said this before.
Have I? I'm still thinking about it. I'm like,
Okay,
as
Meg,
long as they're not anemic.
Be careful now.
There's a reason me and Kamado were close.
Technically speaking, the crystalline structure of ice does put it into the mineral category, so Kimato is also an earthbender.
Anywho's it. So yeah, she's gonna use rock smashing shot again. So you basically make this armor around you, and she immediately full extension again blows the armor away. So you're no longer favored again. You lose that again.
No.
Did I lose the armor completely? I've got a hole.
You can still use the hold part of it. Yes, but you are losing favored.
Okay.
So she's trying to mark a condition. You're blocking this part of it.
Okay.
But then she uses her second thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So she is marking 2 fatigues. You'll basically be able to balance this out. But basically, she pushed you. So the first that shot did knock you back as she kind of destroyed your earth armor. Then she keeps basically taking shots and forcing you backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I guess you wouldn't be pinned anymore. So I'll say you're not impaired right now. As also part of that earth, the rock smashing shot. But you do basically you stumble basically, and at the back of the cave as she pushed you back into where she destroyed the rock wall behind you, and you kind of slip on the rock there.
Okay.
And go ahead.
From game mechanics, what is she inflicting, and how much of my hold am I spending?
So she's inflicting 2 fatigue, so you're using 2 hold to knock out the fatigue part. It doesn't really matter because you're already at full, so you would have ended this exchange anyways. A lot of this was just more of give us. Basically, I was doing this as that functionally what it's doing. You're not actually knocked unconscious, but you're definitely too tired to keep fighting at this point as you stumble back.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. But it was for Gibba's honor of staying awake or not.
Thank you.
As you kind of stumble and fall to the ground.
Well, this seems to be a recurring theme lately.
Yamato, anything to say for your fallen comrade?
Giva, you did a fantastic job. But as I said, I think we have much to learn from this lady.
I'll admit, she has some techniques that are extremely powerful, but I've yet to see exactly how this improves my bending. I'm not exactly going to take up bow and arrow this late into the resistance.
And she looks your way and says, You don't see the value in somebody who can see the flaws in your designs?
Well, I suppose.
It shoots an arrow down at your metal bindings and cracks the metal bindings and frees yourself, basically.
Well, darn it, I believe that you'll help me train, but we'll see about the rest. That's all I have to say.
She says, I know that you are quite adamant, but sometimes you need to slow down a little bit in your approach. Make sure that your designs do not have points that can be broken. As she also, definitely no one caught this, but when she shot your metal bindings, your metal shards into the water, she had an arrow attached to it that is kind of tied around her waist, and she just yoinks it out of the water and hands it to you.
Razor wire wall.
I appreciate it. I fasten it back to my apron. Now, I suppose you're gonna spar with these 2 fellas as well, or was the goal just to make a fool out of me today?
Fellows.
Well, I want you to keep working on. You can either choose to work on your earth armor or your metal bindings, Giva. And you'll basically roll 2d6. You need a hard success of 10 up. You'll add or subtract. Hold on. You're basically trying to skip practice into mastered is what she's going to be trying to help you do.
For metal bindings or earth armor?
You get to choose.
Okay.
So whichever one you want to work on more is what she's going to be helping you with.
I'll do earth armor because that one seems really strong, and right now I can barely use it.
Yep. That's
Wow, she really said all those things right now.
gotta be +1.
Well-
You'll get to add a +1 to this 2d6, but you need a 10 up to skip right to mastered.
Okay.
Gotta run the restroom while we do that
But
fine
can I
math.
roll now?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, oh no! It's a fuck. It was an 8.
Oof. But yeah, you basically what she has you do is basically keep forming your armor, and she just kind of is as she kind of strolls from your. This is kind of happening concurrently with a lot of things, but she is basically showing you the different weak points in your armor. But that's what you are training basically, which technically you already advanced anyways. So
Is it unpracticed now?
it is officially unpracticed. So. But yeah, that is basically your training. Her basically showing you the different weak points that you weren't seeing before, but now she's helping you see different weak points in general. So,
Got it.
on a 2d6, I'm gonna go ahead and say that for future reference, you are now able to select techniques that are seismic sense. So you have unlocked that as an ability. You can't choose one right now, but you have unlocked that as an ability.
They're interesting. Oh, I could learn the TOF stuff.
Yes. Kind of a different version of it for this, for the sake of this, but yes, it still seismic sense.
Nice.
As you are sensing different weak points in. You kind of through your training, you've kind of realized different weak points just in the cave that you're in itself. Like, if you just wanted to, you could collapse the cave with these different kind of weak points you see. You get a better overall idea of like structure itself.
Nice.
Coolio.
After this fight, I sort of dust off my clothes for a second, and I do a quick bow, like I am ready to learn.
Yep. Let's see. She then turns to Kimado and Ayase. Says, your trainings will be a little bit different. I will have you both learn different things, your new techniques, and then we'll have you two spar to see if you've taken what you've learned. But I will teach you both separately. But first, then she kind of takes Giva to her training. Do you have anything to say to each other as she kind of takes Giva to her spot of the cave?
Ayase, are you Firebender? I haven't seen you fight this whole time, so I just didn't know. I wanted to be prepared.
I was classically trained as a firebender. Had many great opportunities to learn very many powerful techniques.
But are you a firebender?
In the strictest sense of the terms, yes, but not particularly proficient.
I see. Okay.
I also
I look
know
forward to sparring with you.
basic self-defense.
Oh, well, that's good. Everybody should know that. Crazy world we live in these days.
You're telling me.
Well, I look forward to sparring with you. Hopefully we can both become better.
I'm wary of what our tutor seeks to gain from this, but suppose this is the simplest path to move forward in. So, may the better woman win.
Given, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what your mastery conditions are for metal bindings and earth armor.
Damn roleplay thing I wanted to do.
Wait, go back.
Is it too late? You want
The
to do it?
time is long gone.
Long gone?
Long gone.
Okay.
I was gonna try and gamble. I'll do it later. Damn it.
Yeah, Kimado, we have a few moments. You want to just like shoot some craps real quick? I have 2 dice right here.
Ah, that was confusing.
I'll be the
Anyways.
house, so I win.
So Giva, for metal bindings, your mastery condition is that you will master this one when you hold back on finishing a hated enemy. So someone that you feel very passionate about finishing off and capturing them instead. That is basically restraining yourself is from finishing off a foe. Is how that will be mastered.
Are you talking to give her right now?
To Giva, yeah.
Oh, Giva's not there.
She there?
I was looking at a sheet.
Oh, she's not. She must have gone to the bathroom while we were talking.
Straight off.
Womp, womp, womp. Guess she'll never master anything. Anyways,
I
Never
was even
tell her
considering
what
the
she
fact
has
that you- That's okay. She can go back and watch the VOD. She'll figure it out.
Infamous
Fine.
VOD watcher.
I ain't technically. Anyways, so she will take Ayase back first.
Yeah. Yes, I will follow, look a little distant as I'm remembering my past training.
Young noble, you are not very emotional, are you?
I prefer to keep them bottled up inside. It is better this way to put on a kinder face for others in our nation, wouldn't you agree? Not trouble them with our personal matters all the time.
Except emotions are key to Bender's strength, and even the strength of the Fire Nation is that passion.
Yes, passion is the spark from which we're able to exert our will onto the world around us. But
So why are you afraid?
as I seem not to have that sort of passion flowing through me that flows through other nobility, other heroes, I have just flickering, smoldering embers where that spark should be.
But it is there. You are just afraid to nurture it.
I'm afraid it might go out if I were to try to do something. I don't seem to be very adept at tending my flame. I've been told repeatedly I'm not very adept at it.
And she kind of looks at you sadly and says, you have the potential. Your chi itself is blocked, but it is not from any outside source.
Man, my eyes get big for a second. Oh. Oh.
You are blocking it within yourself. Your own
No.
self-doubt.
No, I think if I could do it, I would. I've been in many situations where I would very much have liked to have done it, but for my lack, I was reprimanded.
Because you envisioned failure before success.
It's difficult to envision success when you are routinely called failure.
And you need to work on surrounding yourself with better supportive people. But also developing your inner voice. And you kind of stops you at a target dummy, like a better term.
My own voice, not just the voice of the nation, the sounds that Father wants to hear coming from my mouth.
She tells you, a nation does not have one voice, but it is rather the makeup of a lot of voices, many, many voices crying out together. You can't really speak for a nation if you aren't lending your own voice to it.
I tried quite recently to give my voice to a nation, and the nation shut that down. So,
And do you think you're the only person to ever experience hardship like that?
no, of course not. I'm aware enough to know there's much more worse off places in the world, much more worse off places in the Fire Nation, but I like to imagine that those who have experienced those hardships have had at least a few successes, whereas I've just had any successes I've had just handed to me. Haven't really earned one for myself in spite of the terrible surroundings ever. So,
And this is your chance to find your voice, because you can't find success if you don't have a voice first. Try punching this dummy and bending into these punches.
I'll try to recall what those tutors attempted to teach me so long
Do
ago.
not focus on what they taught you, but focus on what you feel as you commit to these punches.
Okay. Am I entering a combat exchange with a dummy?
No, you are just punching the dummy.
Okay, fair enough.
But what does Ayase feel as she kind of walk us through the emotions that she does feel as she kind of starts to punch this dummy?
So Ayase immediately tries to enter into a sort of semi-advanced sort of pose, just like a stance more or less. But then kind of loosens from that as she's trying to just do what feels more natural as opposed to the rigid form of a martial arts school, which was mostly lost on her so long ago, and just kind of very wildly, just almost like just haymaker this, There's not a lot of elegance going into this, as I just kind of overdo it, too much body weight into all of this. Send myself spinning into a tizzy as I swing it. You want me to roll now?
Yep, go ahead and roll your 2d6 and add 1.
Is this an advanced attack or?
You're not adding anything. Just
Okay,
2d6 plus 1.
Gotcha. That is a total of 9.
And though it takes some time for something to ignite per se, you feel a shock that kind of goes arching through your heart per se and out to your arm as you punch. And after a while, the dummy seems to catch fire from this electric shock.
You think I stare at it for 5 seconds, like I failed again. Did I like to imagine my hand is just like scorched slightly, just like.
Mhm.
What did you do to that dummy? Why did it do that?
She says, I did nothing to the dummy. That was all you. Using your own style to create that.
And
Good.
now I'm still trying to figure out what that is, but I have to now use that against Kimado. Is my understanding.
You'll spar with Kimado, but for now, use the rest of these dummies to find consistency with that emotion that you
Right.
felt.
My self, my own emotion, my own way of doing it, not his.
Or anyone else's for that matter. It is all you.
Okay then. Not his. Not his.
And she kind of leaves you to practice with the dummies. You are now considered adept at lightning bending the lightning, and you can add arc lightning instead of chi blocking jabs now. That learned.
Curious.
Give a
Yeah.
quickly give you your mastery conditions for your other two techniques, or for metal bindings and earth armor. For metal bindings, what you need to do to master that is hold back on finishing off a hated enemy and basically restraining yourself from landing the finishing blow. That is how you will master metal bindings. And for earth armor, that will come from you pursuing an enemy alone without worrying about any risk to yourself or others. Basically focusing on ensuring that you are getting results rather than restraining yourself. Ayase, for your three that are non-mastered right now.
Hey, a little out of practice.
Yeah. Disarm will be mastered when Ayase steps in and protects someone with no self-interest involved, just out of wanting to help someone else.
Okay.
Fire stream comes from you breaking down and sharing how you feel, your true emotions to a friend.
Why am I gonna get one of those?
And arc lightning will come from you stepping up to an authoritative figure, specifically someone who you believe has superior standing than yourself.
Okay. Interesting.
And-
I wrote it down.
Cool. And
There are other
those,
ways to master them.
yes, correct. So they'll still have to
By
hit.
doing them for the first time in combat and marking the fatigue, we go to proficient from learned.
You need to go. Yeah, you need to go from learn to practice. Yes.
Practice.
Yep.
Me, yes.
No worries. And I should say, with all these mastery conditions, you don't have to be using that technique in that way to master it. It can be completely a role play thing. You can be not in an exchange at all. You can be in an exchange and doing something like that to get the mastered. Lots of things that can cause that to be mastered, basically. But you do need to be practiced first so you do that. But Yan leaves you to that and goes back to Kimado.
like to think though, even though she leaves me to practice, I'm just gonna kind of internalize things for a bit instead of actually punching anything else.
Yeah.
I'm ready to train.
She says, young waterbender, you hold a lot inside yourself.
I do. I don't really know how you know that, but I do.
It is
Personally,
your
tragedy.
energy. It is, you're always holding yourself back a little bit.
Well, how can I stop doing that?
By reaching out and letting yourself be that center of attention. You are seemingly largely afraid of attention. You're all about helping others. You're all about being there for others, but you are scared to be that moral center. You're uncomfortable with it in turn with your own power.
Yes, I do hold back. But I've used my power before and it never ended well for me. And so I don't want people to fear me. And that's one of the reasons why I've held back.
You're afraid of what other people taught you your power could be.
Indeed, yes. They used it in such terrible ways. They abused it. They used it.
She puts an arm on you and says, your power is your own. Now, but no one else's. And it is time, Waterbender, for you to take it back for yourself. To do that, I want you to create 3 rings of water around yourself. And you will I want you to water bend and bring it back. Continue to keep that around you at all times, showing that you are the one in control. That no matter how much you put into it, you can always bring it back.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever managed to keep the water around me. I've always had to send it somewhere. So I will try.
Go ahead and roll a 2d6 plus 1.
Plus 1?
Yep.
Wow, he's worse than me. I had a 4.
So powerful, so strong. Still holding it back, apparently.
Still holding back.
I was so excited.
You immediately just drop the water. You're not able.
Oh! I can't do this.
She says, think about it a different way. Think about your power itself, not as a way for you to survive, but an extension of your friendships. If you'd like, you can move your center or move your balance, your current balance towards friendship and roll again.
Sure. Do I get like a different plus? Because I got the plus 1 because my balance is at 1. Is that what happened?
No, it was
Oh,
you
okay.
showed a plus 1 for.
Okay.
So now your balance is at plus 2.
Yes. For friendship.
Yep.
Minus 2.
Yep.
Can I roll again?
Yep.
Plus 2 or
Plus 1. So 1 plus 1.
7.
7?
I rolled doubles again. I think I should just reroll. I have now rolled doubles twice.
Oh well. But you successfully learn after rings of water as you continue to do this for a while, this cycle for a while.
Yes. I just for color. There are 3 rings. I'm imagining that each of my rings are one of my friends. So one ring is Gippa, one ring is Ninche, and then the other ring is Aya.
Oh. And
Those
the
are
last
my
one
3
is
friends.
Poe, the good old innkeeper. Love that. Third best friend.
So I'm keeping the rings around me like that. They who have my friends.
Yep. to give you your. So that is now at learned. You got to bring us some water.
Cool. So that one doesn't say anything. Like a lot of them are like, if this is, oh, maybe that. Okay, so if it's learned, I mark like an extra number of fatigue.
It basically, if you roll a. What is it? So it's water is it which type of technique is it? It's a
water and just it's got a star next to it.
yeah. Is it defending the maneuver?
Oh, it's
is it?
evade and observe.
So if you do an evade and observe, you will mark a fatigue, and you get to use a learn technique. The first time you use a learn technique, it goes to practiced. So
okay, geez, this technique marks a lot of fatigue. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
No, you think you got it bad? Wait till you see mine.
It's okay. Evade and observe also, by its nature, just gives you a fatigue back. So.
Oh really?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good to know. There's just a lot of information all at once.
Yes,
It's
it is.
not an easy to gather.
No, yeah. It's very different from
Yeah.
the D&D.
It's like I wish they would put it all next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the problem. And it's also because I'm not looking at paper, I'm looking at my iPad, so I have to like scroll and I can look at more things at the same time.
Yep.
So anyways, okay, sorry.
But to go ahead and give you your mastery techniques for your mastery conditions for all of your techniques for the freeze blood, that mastery comes from accepting who you are and how you got there in order to use your hidden power to save a friend. So you need to use blood bending to save somebody.
And then this one is also, this is a learned, so I have to use it once.
Yep.
And then use it to save somebody.
Yep. Water jab comes from you taking a powerful / significant action with the intent of doing it because it is what one of your friends would do. So basically doing something purely because this is what Giva would do. This is what Ninche, Ayase, your friends would do. That is why you are doing the action pretty much. It has to be something significant rather than just like I open the door for somebody because that's what a friend would do.
Gotcha. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a bending move. It can
Correct.
just be anything. Okay,
Correct.
Cool.
And then Rings of Water, your mastery condition is you taking an action to protect or save yourself rather than your friends.
Did you make all these up or are these in the book? I'm curious.
I mostly made them up. I used it's like,
Okay.
they're all, they give suggestions. It's in the,
Interesting.
like, for example, some of them are just surrender once, lose your balance,
Whoa.
seek a specific mystical or ancient location, use the technique in an exchange in a particular way. So, like, throw or defeat a specific enemy, all that kind of stuff. It's all there.
Say no more.
But,
So
good.
Rings of Water is not a learned technique. Okay,
Correct.
cool. Just wanted to make sure. As soon as you use it once, it is.
Yep. And she kind of calls you off from your different training spots and says, Kimido, Ayase, please show us what you have learned today.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. I selected what I would like to do. Kimido. No, I'm Kimido. Yeah, you always do that.
I never called my like, hey, it's God. No, it's just me.
I'll say, I wish you
Let it
best
off.
of luck. And I found.
Yes. Let us see who has the louder voice.
All right. Both of you go ahead and start.
Yeah,
Person. I say, welcome to your first combat exchange.
yeah, give me like a 30-second moratorium here. Yeah, a quick sabbatical while I do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we both choose a maneuver. And then we rock paper scissors. Who goes first?
Yep.
Not literally. Yeah. I understand the basic thing. Okay.
Rock, scissors, paper.
Rock, scissors, paper. Yeah, you'll choose one of those. Defend and maneuver, advance attack, fade and observe. You'll both reveal. I'll just keep switching who reveals first. Doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
out of fairness, I'll keep switching it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we'll let the more experienced Kimito go ahead and say which one are you doing? Ayase?
I was gonna do defend maneuver.
Okay. So by rock paper scissors rules, you are first. So go ahead and roll a 2d6, adding your focus.
Cool. This is +2 for a grand total of 12.
Oh, so yeah, you can mark fatigue to use a learn technique. You can use one practice technique. You can use 2 different basic or master techniques. Up to you.
Okay. Definitely gonna be going with one of my learned ones.
Okay.
Let me double check. This does. Okay, I like to imagine we are kind of close together at the start of this. Kind of.
Yeah, you could have did a bow to each other. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I would like to. That's about to get expensive real quick.
Throw money in.
I'm just going to mark 1 fatigue for the
Okay.
right to use my learn maneuver, and my learn maneuver.
All righty. So no lie, that cut out right when you said I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me rethink my move. So I rolled a 12. I chose defend and maneuver.
And you're choosing one of your learned techniques.
So that really narrows it down real quick, what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really go for it here. Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna hold back at first. I'm gonna really go for it on this one.
Ooh.
Because I am going to lead with Firestream.
Okay.
And instead of my go on.
Nope, go ahead and flavor it.
All right, cool. As you basically just witnessed me. Oh God, how on the nose? You witness like me getting like very flustered. It almost looks like as I'm getting very red. Not really my face per se, but just kind of like the front of my body in general. What you can see as I am basically drawing out a lot of body heat from myself.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little shivery as I'm doing so. And then just as best as I can, trying to do it like as a sort of like punch almost, but just ejecting all of that body heat directly into you, Kimado. So it takes me 1 fatigue just to use this learn maneuver. I am now marking 3 more fatigue.
Yep.
Because I am inflicting doomed and impaired on you simultaneously.
Yep. So, how? Double checking real quick.
I'm understanding correctly.
Did I take any fatigue? Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, I just took 4.
No, did I take any fatigue?
You'll be.
I just gave you 2 conditions.
Yep. So statuses. So you are doomed. So you'll get no matter what, you'll have an automatic -1 fatigue. As she kind of raises your body heat.
I have a -1 fatigue.
Every start of every exchange. So the longer the fight goes on, you'll hit a fatigue every round, basically. Yep.
Okay.
I've inflicted the burn status condition from Pokemon onto you.
Yeah. And then the second one is you can either mark a fatigue or take a negative to pretty much all your rolls. So you can either for you you'll be taking either 2 fatigue or a fatigue and a -2, your choice on all your rolls.
So +1 fatigue per round.
-1 fatigue, but yes, yeah. you're losing because your HP is 5 out of 5, so you're losing 1 each time. You go down to 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5.
Oh.
Just really gonna go for it on that turn 1.
2 fatigue.
Is my
4
technique now practiced for doing that?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
As you.
And that's for every time I roll, I take 2 fatigue.
No, if you.
That's just.
Every round you'll lose a fatigue, and then if you want, then you can. Every round you'll lose a fatigue, and then if you want to roll, you can either take a -2 on the roll or mark another fatigue. That's pretty much how it goes.
Okay.
As I wreak biochemical horror onto your body.
I would also like to say I feel like we did that combat round wrong because had I chosen to do because you just had I said Evade Missouri. Sorry, I forgot that I revealed what I was doing already.
Yep.
I thought that I hadn't revealed that.
No.
It's like wait, we already done it wrong.
No.
But it didn't matter because I'm doing Evade Missouri.
Yep.
Is that all? I asked you.
It's just I can do the 1 learned on my 10.
Yep. That is correct.
Okay. Yep, then that would be my turn. I do believe.
Over to you. Go ahead. If you haven't rolled already, go ahead and roll your Evade and Observe.
Okay.
Um,
So had I already rolled it, I wouldn't have taken the -2 had I chose to do that.
no, you.
Okay.
It's because it goes in order. So yes, I was double checking that.
Cute.
You will take the -2 or take 2 fatigue. Your choice now.
Okay. And do I take the 1 fatigue now?
Yes.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Worse if it's out of combat, it's every few seconds.
Damn.
I do have another question.
Yep.
If I perform an action that causes me to take more fatigue than I have available, do I then choose a condition, or
Yeah,
I just
you
can't do that?
You start marking if for every fatigue you go over, you mark conditions.
Okay. Follow-up question. As part of the Evade and Observe, I now can clear a fatigue. Can I clear that fatigue?
You always clear the fatigue first and then roll. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So, no fatigue. Excellent. And then I guess I'm going to take the -2.
Yep.
Okay, creativity or honey.
And then you roll, right? Roll kind of shit.
We'll go.
I just take -2 because I can't do anything either way. I
Okay.
rolled a 6.
Hmm.
Well,
So-
no. I have a +1, so I would have 7.
After the -2, before the -2.
Without the -2 if I take 2 fatigue. What? Okay, so basic is just like, oh, that's not.
You just be able to do regular movements.
Yeah.
Okay, I just take -2. I don't do anything.
All right, so it is technically a miss. You can still shift your balance away to use a basic technique if you want to do that, or you can just.
They seem a little silly, so I don't really know what they mean. I'm just gonna not do that.
All right. Basically, how this happens is Ayase reaches out and burns you in a way that you're surprised that you're burned. But you kind of reach back and you try to waterbend, but you feel like your actual chi itself is like even messed up a little bit as you try to waterbend. You're basically just taken by surprise this round. As we go on to the next exchange, Ayase, you will reveal which one you're doing first.
Okay. Let me think real quick. I think I already know what it's going to be for sure. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm doing.
Cool. Kima, you know what you're doing?
Yes.
Go for Ayase reveal.
I would like to evade and observe because I just took a lot of fatigue.
I'm also going to Evade and Observe.
All right, I'll have you two roll off to see who goes first. So just roll 1d6 and we'll see.
Roll a 3.
Me too.
Roll again, please.
Roll a 4.
I rolled 2.
All right, Ayase, you will go first.
Okay. Okay. 2d6 Evade and Observe. I have rolled 8, I believe. Double check. Yes, because I have 2 creativity.
All right, so you can either use a basic or a master technique.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and heal my 1 fatigue, if I may.
Yep.
And I think I basically have to use a basic technique. Well,
I know which one is your mastered. What do you mean?
yeah, but I can't use it yet. I don't have any conditions.
Oof.
It doesn't work until I'm more screwed up.
Technically, you can use it. It just won't do anything.
Well, okay, let me read it through one more time. So I won't be able to use that half of it,
Mm-hmm.
but would I be able to use the thingy to give me extra C's of position? Would that still be usable, or is it just totally not usable? I don't know.
You're building up hold, and that hold lets you do one or the other thing. So no.
Okay, gotcha. In that case, I'm going to, I guess, be basic techniquing and shoot. Okay, so she's already currently doomed and impaired, right?
That is correct.
All right, cool. Would I be able to use bolster or hinder to inflict another appropriate status, or would you say I'm not able to give another appropriate status at this time? Because those next 2 are pretty drastic. So
Yeah, that's reading them. Out of mostly fairness, I'm gonna say no.
understandable.
I would, and just in this instance, I know we talked about it before. I would let you empower yourself, or not. Sorry, do a positive status to yourself if you want to either be empowered or favored for this exchange.
Yes.
Or sorry, empowered for this exchange or favored for the next exchange. One or the other. I'll let you kind of choose.
Okay.
As you kind of started to feel confident with your abilities for the first time.
Yeah, right. Well, that phrasing makes me sound pretty empowered. Dude, I'm so impaired right now. No, not quite.
Yep.
Sure, I will give myself empowered.
Yep. So you'll be able to clear an extra fatigue at the end of each exchange. So technically, Kimito will go first. So
not okay. So not this particular exchange, but on all subsequent ones.
No. So you'll at the end of the exchange itself, you'll still do that. It's just not technically the exchange. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Kimito, go ahead.
Okay. I get a fatigue, but I don't because I'm evading and observing.
Yep.
I'm going to roll.
Seven again without the -2 or with the -2?
It's just a flat 7. I only get a +1, but that still doesn't really help me. I guess it does. I'll just mark 2 fatigue and.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I am going to reach over to this little pool of water and grab a little bit of ice and sling it across the floor. It's going to grab a hold of Ayase's foot. I have to mark 1 fatigue. My opponent is now impaired. And that is it.
Yep.
Okay. Is it just impaired?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Does it have any weird conditions like the metal version?
Double checking real quick. Don't worry.
Or is it just flatly I am impaired now?
Device. Your opponent, I found it. You're impaired, and if you advance an attack next exchange, you inflict an additional 1 fatigue. If Kimito advances attacks next exchange. She will inflict an additional fatigue. But no, if you have anything else that would get rid of impaired, you would be able to do that. You could essentially heat the ice. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it's not a hard condition like metal bindings.
Like that brutality that is metal binding.
Yeah, right.
Woo. Okay.
All right. Kimino, you would declare first this time, and then Ayase.
Okay. So end of that exchange, I now heal my 1 fatigue.
That is correct.
Cool.
I probably know what you're doing, but
What a guess! I'm advancing and attacking.
Ayase, what are you doing?
Evade observe.
Because of that, I take 1 fatigue because of I'm doomed.
Doom.
What is the roll passion?
Burning on the inside. Ooh.
Okay, I.
7.
Oops. What just happened?
7.
Oh, wait, hold on. I keep forgetting. Where is this? Okay, so basic or mastered, and this is not that. So okay. Where did it go again? How do I use a learn?
Really
by
high.
10 up. It's
It's quite frustrating.
This is fine. I keep forgetting about this little pre-plug non-bending thing. Well, it is a bending thing, but I forgot. Okay, well, I'm just. So this fighting technique that's right here, that's just. Oh, it's mastered. I see that.
Yep, it is mastered.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna do that then. I'm gonna take the -2 because my thing is +2 and I roll 7.
Yep.
Flat. Oh wait. Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry. Anyways, and I'm going to sweep the leg. It doesn't say anything about water, so I guess I'm just gonna run up and.
Either way, you can use a water whip to sweep the leg if you want.
Anyway, so I sweep the leg. Says if your foe has total of 3 or more fatigue and conditions marked, do you have 3 or more fatigue and conditions marked?
I currently have 2 fatigue and 1 condition, so that is 3.
Okay. I will inflict 2 fatigue, but it's actually going to be 3.
Yes.
Because of the quiet grip device. Yep.
Yeah.
Wham!
Oh, I must mark 1 fatigue as well.
Yep.
Dang.
Okay.
So basically, Kimito just grabs a water whip and just takes out one of your legs, breaking it out of the ice, so you just off balance with 1 foot stuck in ice, just fall to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Probably break my other fucking leg. Damn.
You thought you were walking slow to the boat earlier.
Damn. Okay. Interesting. So I now have 5 fatigue marked, and I also am impaired still, or does the impaired go away?
You're still impaired.
Yeah.
Okay. That's important. That's key for the next thing I'm going to do. Okay. So is it my turn to roll my evade and observe?
You good? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll.
All right. Woo. That is a total of 9. 6 and 1.
Huh?
Plus 2. 6 and 1 plus 2. Sorry, the dice are 6 and 1. I have plus.
Yes. 6
plus 1 is 9.
Yeah, you can use a basic or master technique now.
Let's see. I'm going to clear 1 fatigue because I used evade and observe.
Yep.
And then we're going to just use it, I guess. Single spark.
Yep.
My master. The strangest, most convoluted worded thing I could find in this entire chart. Okay. So, this is going to get bad real quick. Yeah, just make sure I'm understand. I am still impaired. Do I take the -1, the -2? Is this a physical action?
Oh yeah. So yeah. Sorry. All basically, I've been doing it. You will take a -2. Yes. So it's you got a 7 still, unless you mark a fatigue.
You're correct. Okay, so it's 7. So no difference really.
Yeah, no difference.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's yep.
Thank you for checking me on that. Yep. Okay, then in that case, no doubt about it. Single spark. I'm going to mark 1 fatigue, and I'm going to hold 1 because I had 1 condition mark.
Yep. And yep, you'll be able to spend it on that stuff. You can basically spend it instead of fatigue to inflict doom if you use firebending or your version of firebending, or you can also use seize position basically in addition to what you're doing.
Yep, and that's going to
Or
be in the next
version.
exchange.
Hmm?
Is that going to? It's going to be in the next exchange.
That is correct. Yeah.
All right.
You can
Hello.
buy it now.
Oh, scary. Are you still you guys there? Garrett's frozen.
The gas goes on our screen, but
Okay, you're back.
Oh,
There we go.
Big scary.
okay. But yeah, you're good.
Okay, that's that.
All right.
Hold is held.
Ayase, you will declare first this time.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Earlier, Ayase empowered herself. Did she do that by evading, observing, and bolstering herself?
That was for bolster or hinder, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
In that instance, but only because I didn't let her inflict another negative status,
If I
basically.
had done another negative status, you would have been very unable to fight at the moment, and it's kind of iffy if I should be able to use that. Basically, the 2 area mark are the easy 2 statuses to give. So yeah, I am still empowered, right?
Yeah. So go ahead and mark or clear 1 more fatigue.
Cool.
And then yes, you will declare first again.
On this one, let's declare defend maneuver.
Okay. What are you declaring, Kumito?
I honestly have no idea. I guess evade and observe.
Okay. Go for your roll, Ayase. Defend and maneuver.
Let's go. Yuck.
Oof.
Total of 7. Actually, I still have the -2 from impaired, so 5.
Yep. Or mark a fatigue to not do that. You can take the 7 for if you mark a fatigue, basically.
I really observe what I was gonna do. What's the shift to balance option? What's that again?
That. So the next time that you would use so load up to your principal is you can always use your balance and roll for that instead, but you have to mark a fatigue to do that. So if you want to do something, that can be for a basic move or basic or your techniques, basically.
Oh wait. Okay, wait.
So you can use that in combat exchange or not in combat exchange, but yeah.
Okay, wait. Sequencing. So I still have my 1 hold from my single spark.
Correct.
And no matter what technique I use, I can also use seize a position.
If you decide to use your hold for that, yeah.
Can I use that first to no longer be impaired? Like, what's the sequencing in your head?
You have. I would say you have to roll first. So you'll no matter what, you're gonna have the -2 this exchange.
Okay. I'll just choose. Can I just choose to do nothing and then still get to seize the position for my hold?
Yes, you can do that. So, so you're taking the -2 to the roll to 5. You're using that 1 hold to seize the position. So you're basically freeing yourself from your still 1 ice anchor, basically to free yourself.
Okay.
Over to you, Kimino, as you roll your evade and observe. So you have to mark a fatigue again too.
But I'm evading and observing.
Oh, so yeah, balance out. Well, that was your doomed one, but then you're -1 for impaired if you don't want to take -2.
Yeah. What?
So remember, you're still doomed. So your evade and observe is canceling out the doomed,
Yeah.
but you're still impaired. So
Yeah.
it's
I'm
minus.
deciding if I'm taking -2 to roll or
Gotcha.
not because I have fatigue to mark.
Gotcha.
Sorry, how much fatigue?
I have none.
You have
No more.
none?
No, she has no more that she can mark. Is what she's
Okay.
She's full.
Oh, oh, scary.
I can't really do anything, so I'm just gonna take the -2 to the roll.
saying. Okay. And we will go into another combat exchange.
End of that one, I heal my fatigue because I am still empowered.
That is correct.
One day I'll stop asking you for everything. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Kimito, it's your turn to declare first.
What happens if your ability has a specific status that's marked, but it's already marked? Just nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay,
Unless it said something like that or another appropriate, but
gotcha. I'm gonna advance an attack.
backtracking, yeah, I will say you can still use it. Like you did,
Oh yeah.
but yeah. Okay. You just can't double
Mm-hmm.
stack it in status. Okay, you're advanced attacking. Ayase, what are you doing?
I would like to evade observe.
Okay. Kimito with the advanced attack.
What is advance an attack?
Remember, you are taking
Okay.
-1 this time because you're not evading observing from doomed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm marking angry. I'm just gonna take the -2 to the roll because it's an 8, so
Mhm.
I can do basic or a mastered technique.
Last
And-
was it?
No,
Sorry,
no,
it's
she
8
gets
minus.
a +2, -2.
Oh yeah, his passion is +2. sorry.
Got you. Got you.
Okay, but I have to use advancement. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna sweep the leg again. So, do you still have more than three or more conditions and fatigue marked?
Yes, I have 3 fatigue and no conditions at the moment.
Okay, so you take 2 fatigue.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna also mark troubled.
Do I get tripped or anything on this one, or was that just because of the combo last time?
I mean, it knocks you off balance. You were impaired earlier because of a different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I assume you're still impaired because it doesn't say it goes away.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I just seized the position to get rid of impaired.
Yeah. So you're not impaired. That's what
okay.
she's saying.
Gotcha. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you did that.
Okay. So I am currently at 5 fatigue, all of them, but no
How do you stop
conditions.
being doomed?
Correct.
How do you stop being doomed?
That's awesome.
Oh, until you free yourself. Oh, so you, in this situation, you just can't.
Get creative. Maybe there's a way.
Pretend
Use
to
some
be
of that
alive.
healing water magic.
I mean, freeing yourself in this one would be just tapping out essentially. But yeah. Kimito, you're good.
Yeah.
Ayase.
My evade observe. I have rolled 6 plus 4 plus 2. 12.
So, okay. So you can do one of the things there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you advance attack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go. Arc lightning.
And so you channel lightning. So yep. You mark fatigue to fit a condition. Have 2 will this be yours? What, do you already have 2 conditions marked, or you only have 1 marked? So 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll also be stunned.
It doesn't matter, but 2 statuses or 2 conditions?
2 conditions.
Okay.
So you
I
are
have 2 of both, but
okay. So yeah, you are marking another condition, and you are now stunned. And we're kind of, this will be the end of the exchange. I'll explain
Don't
more,
worry.
but
I was gonna RP my way out of it on that one too.
yep. So you marked your 3rd condition as well. You've done both.
No, I didn't know I was supposed to.
Yep. Sorry. Go mark a 3rd condition.
Okay. I'm afraid.
and good reason. As I say,
Okay. So I was at Get this. So I was at full fatigue. So I have to mark something. I'm gonna mark guilty, but then I immediately feel fatigued for being evading.
Hello.
I'm gonna keep the guilty for funny roleplay.
Yep. So basically, you sweep the leg, and I'll say stumbles, but kind of catches herself and kind of pushes into you, and you feel lightning course through you, and you go flying into the water. Hayase kind of so basically both your faces now reflect your conditions of afraid and guilty as that happens. As simultaneously, a boat rounds the corner into the cave, and you see Mr. Poe.
The innkeeper?
Yes. Sail in. Oh my! Training's going well then. We cut to Giva. Do you have a reaction to this as this kind of all unfolds simultaneously?
Well, yeah, you know what?
No, I am currently speechless and confused.
Ayase, as you kind of still kind of are probably basically kneeling there, Yuyan comes up to you and says, he just puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Well done." Before moving on to help Kimito out of the water.
Who helped you?
Yuyan.
Okay, right.
Hand on shoulder, she goes to help. I'm just gonna linger there, kind of looking, and then just. So, what was the point of any of that? He told me I needed comrades to support, but now I've just gone and done what father would do. I've just harmed them.
And as she helps Kimito out of the water, she says, "Kimito, do you have hard feelings for Ayase?"
No, I walk over and I go to shake Ayase's hand, but I hesitate because she just shot lightning out of her hands. And then I bow.
I snap out of my daze after Kimito walks over to Ayase, and I do the same, and I look, Ayase up and down, kind of measuring her up, and like, no, I think that you've proven you're able to stand up in a fight, and I think you will be an asset on the battlefield, knowing not only that you can hold your own, but maybe you're strong enough to help us too.
To hold everybody.
Just kind of stumbling on my way in typical fashion.
I don't know. I was always told I couldn't do anything well, but now that I can do things, I'm afraid that I'm doing what he would still want me to do, even though it's his fault that I felt so terrible about myself that I couldn't do anything.
When I put my hand on your shoulders abruptly and I shake you out of it. Listen to me. Everything you've done here today, all the practice that you put in, you did that. Are you saying your father came here and told you to hurt anyone or get into these fights? And do you think Kimato's not strong enough to be a valid and an honorable opponent? You did well today. Don't dishonor her by saying you didn't.
Yes, Kimado was great. I didn't know she could so effectively hold people just as you could. You have interesting similarities in your particular choices for talent, I must say.
Well, we did train together.
I love it.
In your kingdom. But yes, you fought valiantly today, Ayase. And I am honored to have you as a member of our team.
Well, what team? I understand the Iron Lotus, but are we declaring war on the Fire Nation? Are we seceding? What are we doing here? Are we just beating up each other in a cave?
And at this moment, Mr. Poe speaks up and says, "Well, no, I do have bad news, Yu Yan. The wedding has been moved up to tomorrow, and we are cutting over to Estrad."
And the prom.
So after an exhausting day of training for you,
Fairly exhausting. Kind of basic ability.
basically you jumping up and jumping down,
Yeah.
jumping up and jumping down.
Yep.
Gyatso says, you could have taken a break at some point. Gosh. Didn't have to work through lunch.
Well, I believe you know that that's not how I do things.
Yes. Well, I think you're ready. At least you can use that technique well enough. And he pulls out a glider for you and says, "What's next, Estrad?"
Well, I think I go back down to the city with some reinforcements, and we try and scope out a plan to see how we can converge or dismantle the guiding wind.
Will you take on the guiding wind, or will you go and break the air nomads out of prison? So they were arrested as well. You'd heard that from Mr. Poe. Basically, all the ones that were wanting to build the ones that want to build the Fire and Air Learning Center.
Why would I do that?
I mean, that they were arrested for something they were innocent of, but because they were basically arrested on conspiracy against the Fire Nation with the guiding wind. So I'm just putting the question to you.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and keep them in mind. I feel as though when the injustice is uncovered, they will receive their due consequence.
But you will confront Chondro with your students. That is your next step.
That might be the next move. That might not be the next move, but it's a toss up on whether or not we're going for dismantling the guiding wind or taking out Chondro, or converting versus dismantling.
Yes, it's a decision you'll probably have to make in the moment.
Just might be more of a feeler than a thinker.
But I do have a bit of information on where you can find the guiding wind now. They are no longer at their headquarters.
Well, I'd love to hear that information.
Chondro's wedding is tomorrow.
Who would marry that sick son of a bitch?
The princess of the Fire Nation.
Okay, hello? What? What?
That has been the news of town, apparently.
Is
Someone leaked into the news that Princess Seishan was having a secret wedding. And I may have somebody know who leaked it, but that's beside the point.
Is this information correct?
Yes, and I know where the wedding is to be held.
Why would the Fire Nation princess want to marry Chondro?
I'm not
Does the
sure.
Fire Nation not want the learning center to actually be built?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I do have a little bit of information on Princess Seishan. She actually used to train with Ryo-shan Master Ryoshan, rather, Sister Ryoshan, who is the air nomad who used basically chi blocking techniques to heal you from after your fight with Hayate. And I had heard rumors that they were in love, but broke up when Zayshan's brother did not approve of their union.
Just so I'm clear on these pronouns, who are the two that are in love?
Sister Ryoshan and Princess Zayshan.
Just want to make sure, because there's a lot of niche.
Which you would also, I would assume Giva and Kimito had broken down everything they had found inside the city hall with you when you all escaped. You do know that there was a discarded letter from Princess Zayshan had 2 different love letters, one from Kay, who was probably Chondro, and then one letter that she was writing to somebody saying that they will soon be reunited, but she discarded the letter, did not actually send it. To kind of, as far as confirming the rumor in your head.
So will this information, does this rouse any suspicion on the Fire Nation? We're sabotaging or going with Condor?
There may be more to it, but Zayshan might be out for revenge against her brother. And somehow Chondro is a part of that. It is a pity for him, considering how much he wanted to be isolated from external affairs, but it seems he has found himself as a tool of foreign affair himself. Whether he knows it or not, I think this information is something he probably does not know. I'm not sure what he personally hopes to gain from this union, but
This is good information.
But it might help you in going for a more converting route than dismantling.
Definitely not about blackmailing. Well, your today has been very useful for me in my quest. I must thank you, Mankyatsu.
Well, it was good reconnecting, Estrad, but I will leave it to you. This is your journey. And kind of sailing out of the sky as a sky bison. He kind of lands next to Gyatso. And he just jumps on the sky bison's back and says, I'll be heading back to the Southern Air Temple for a bit. Nice relaxation for me. May stop by the prison on the way. Who knows?
Well, I hope we meet again in good fortune, good health.
Good luck to you as well. Good fortune on your journey. And he gives you a salute as well.
I don't know what the proper.
Yeah, probably a bow.
Bullshit,
but
you can be mine.
Probably a bow as well, but he's also a sky bison. But
I'll do whatever is customary.
Yep. He does the little yip yip as they sail off into the setting sun.
Thank you.
As you can, well, you don't have to make a decision tonight because it's already 10 o'clock.
What's the guy bison's name?
I feel like it had a name.
I don't know if Gyas.
Oh, never mind. I don't know about the answer.
Gyas.
We flew on a sky bison, didn't we? No, we just saw them.
You saw a sky bison.
And one of the air temple people had theirs that came in.
So, way too early for it to be Appa, because Appa would be either not born or a very child.
Also,
I'm gonna say Papa. I don't know.
Papa?
Don't ask me these questions at the end of the
Literally
session.
exactly what I thought you were going to say.
Don't ask me these questions. Anyways, that is where we're actually going to end our session of Avatar Legends TTRPG. You can get your own version somehow through Magpie Games in some way.
Support the
know.
official release.
What? Yeah, support the official release. I don't know when that is. I don't know if you can already do it. They're not. They're not paying. They're not paying me to sponsor. I just like this game. So, anyways,
You want us to learn? Sponsor us.
want me to
But-
learn sponsor.
Oh, no, no, no.
Random side note, not very random at all. Everyone tuned in, make sure to see us on Tuesday to interact with our sticker giveaway.
Correct.
They are pretty snazzy. I've got one here.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It's legible in person and not back there in
You should
case.
do it. You should do like those makeup influencers, like.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you all for watching both parts. Special two-parter, LOL. But yeah, see us Tuesday as we continue our Ashana Rising stuff and participate in the sticker giveaway. We'll see you next time. There's going to be a delay as I go run and turn off the stream. But yeah.
As he's going to do that, a fun fact about naming bison. So in Legend of Korra, Tenzin calls his bison Oogie, or something like that. And it's been revealed that when Aang and Katara were married and they would show affection to each other, Tenzin called it the Oogies. And so Tenzin's bison is named after love.
That's very cute.
Little fun fact for you.
Also, what a spoiler. Aang and Katara get together.
Oh,
Absolutely trash.